What's going on, guys? Got another one for you here today. We just keep coming right at you with all these Q&As. You guys are sending awesome stuff to us. Please keep sending us stuff. This is obviously a big one. It's something that we get all the time. Very prevalent right now because of the time of year we're coming up to. So we just did one the other day. We did the buying process. This is going to be, what does the home selling process look like? So this is going to be from the eyes of a seller and kind of what they need to know, what they're going to walk through. So I promise, if you guys stick through this, you're going to get something out of it for sure. You know, even if you fast forward through it or something like that, it's going to be really good. It's going to be all in one spot. Like I said before, the point of doing all this is that it's the hub. You know, we want it to be the hub for everything you need in the real estate industry. I've done a lot of research through everything really on the internet that I could find, just with different stuff. Really, some of the biggest questions we get through real estate, and I just wasn't happy with the answers I was getting. It's a lot of people, a lot of regurgitated info from, you know, really frankly, a lot of non-real estate professionals. So you have to be very careful about the internet. Obviously, we've got fake news and real news all over the place, right? So you have to be very careful. We're the Legacy Group Real Estate Team. I'm Brandon Gentile, the CEO and founder of the Legacy Group here at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. We're based in Oakland County, Michigan. If you're watching this somewhere else, you know, some other state or city or whatever it is, it will have the same benefit to you. We're not talking, you know, rules and regulations and things like that. So it's going to be the same benefit to you. You know, so I promise, if you find something that you really like and you like this, please share it with, you know, people that you know that could get something out of it. People are looking to sell their home maybe, and that maybe they just like this stuff or whatever it is. So we really appreciate you guys doing that, because it takes a lot of time and energy, obviously, for us to do that. And frankly, it's one of those things where it helps all of our clients as well. It helps our clients a lot, and it's a marketing thing in a way also. And it helps our sellers sell homes, right? The more we're out there, the more it's helping our sellers get exposure. So what is the home selling process? What is the home selling process? So one of the very first things that we're going to do, obviously, is the consultation. So the very first thing we want is to sit down with the seller. You got to have an agent come in, a real estate professional come in, and come and walk through the process with you. And this is really kind of what we're doing now, because, I mean, to be frank, this is something that you need to do that. It's very important to the seller, but a lot of stuff's done on the internet nowadays. So we want that information out there, and people can see that process and get what they need to know. And like we say all the time, raise the level of discourse in the industry. So it's, you know, even if we don't work with you for whatever reason, we might be working with you on the other side of a transaction, and we want that level of discourse to be up. We want it to be up there as high as it can be. That way the process is going smooth for everybody. There's no balls dropped, things of that nature. So the first thing is the consultation. So it's us getting together, making sure we're on the same page, going through everything, and walking through the process. So that's huge. You know, this is where you're doing, you know, getting paperwork signed, talking about the price of the home, making sure you're getting the correct analysis in the home. You could have an appraisal done beforehand or whatever, but this is really where you're walking through all of that. So I'm not going to go super in depth today with all the stuff. We're going to kind of briefly lay it out here. If you want, there's a free video series we have that you can sign up for, and you can get the whole process laid out, all 10 steps of the process in great detail. So I promise you it's worth the time to watch that. This is the biggest transaction for most of you in your lives. So it's something that's very important. There could be $5, $10, $50, $100,000 or more at stake on the table. And it's something that's very important. That's why we do these videos. That's why we get this information out there. And that's why I think it's so important for people to watch it, to make sure that they have the correct info, they have the process in order to make sure they're maximizing the dollar when they sell their home. So consultation, this is where you're going through that. You're going through pricing, you're going through, you know, the paying of the agents, and going through all of that and making sure you're all on the same page, getting the paperwork signed, and setting yourself up for the rest of the process. So once we have that signed, we have everything done, then we're going into kind of it's the active process, I like to call it. So you have this side is the active process. Same thing with the buyer side. You have the active side, and then you have the pending side. So we'll get into it more, and you'll kind of see how it works. But this is the active side. So you're going to we have a professional photographer. So the Legacy Group has a professional photographer come out. There's a lot of people in the industry that go do pictures themselves. That's their prerogative. I just tend to believe that I'm not the best camera operator and picture person in the world. And I don't think many people on my team are, even though some of them think they are. So we pay for a professional to go out there who does a great job for us and helps you, kind of move things around the home. If they see something with their eye that needs to be moved, they go do that for you. And they come take the pictures, and that's part of the process. That's part of what you pay a real estate agent for. Well, we're giving you that. That's an added benefit that our team provides to you. So you guys you're putting the best foot forward. First impressions are everything, right? So the pictures are huge. That's one of the main things people can see on the internet. So getting this right is a massive, massive deal. So once we have the pictures done, we're gonna do that. That's gonna probably be within that first week there. We're gonna sign everything, all the paperwork, get the photographer out there, and depending on schedules, on the seller's schedule and the photographer's schedule, we're gonna get that done, squared away. And then we're gonna the sign's gonna be ordered that week. And in that time period, those handful of days, the sign's going to be delivered and put into your house. Again, a company comes out, puts it into the ground there for you. And somebody's going to be coming, whether it's a runner, maybe it's the agent that's doing the consultation with you. They leave a lockbox then, or it could be a runner, or it could be one of the assistants, or it could be a photographer. Sometimes they'll have lockboxes and they'll put the lockbox in the door for you. There'll be a combination, etc., and you have the key in there for showings. So showings is the next thing. So we have showings and everything's done through the internet basically, right? So everything's done through there, and we have some people calling and stuff still, but everything's done basically through the internet, and showings are scheduled through text, email, stuff like that, and they're obviously using that lockbox to get into the house. So it's gonna be generally another agent coming to show the property with their buyers. Our goal is always to try to sell it in-house and bring you that buyer, and it makes it easier financially, everything, if we can do that for you, because we have some stuff we do, I think unlike most people, that help financially, that just helps everything, helps the process go a lot smoother. So again, that's something we can get into greater detail in other videos and in our free series and when we talk. So showings, this is where you're going to want to be prepared. Obviously, the home is picture ready, just like you had it from the photographer came. So you're always going to want it to be picture ready. You don't want to, put that best foot forward, like we talked about. We don't want them seeing something that isn't, the best version of your house. So they should be leaving a card. There's different rules you can set, boundaries, lock the doors, and take your shoes off, etc. That's totally up to you. But this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where we're gonna, and like I said, sign up for the video series. It's gonna go into great detail as to what's going on and what we're looking for. Because what we're gonna get is a bunch of feedback. So the next thing is feedback and price drops. So if we, obviously a lot of people, you want to get the most for your home, and that's our job, right? Is to get the most amount of money and maximize the dollar for our seller. Sometimes, for some reason, whatever reason it could be something's wrong with the home, could be that it was overpriced, whatever it may be, we're gonna get the feedback from the buyers, and we're gonna take that, we're gonna take it with a grain of salt, obviously. We're gonna kind of match it up against what the seller's wishes are, and then we're gonna come to a solution. So it could be, hey, we do need to drop a little bit. Maybe the market slowed down a little bit, whatever it is, and we do need to drop it down. Maybe the seller says, hey, you know what, I'm good, and we're just gonna keep it there. That's another option too, right? So there's many different things, but be ready for this, and don't take it as don't take it too personally. It's feedback, it's constructive criticism. You don't take it to heart, because it's a business transaction, right? I mean, it's your home, but you have to look at it as a business transaction, because that's ultimately what it is. So this is huge. This, like I said, we're going to wrap up the active process right here with an offer. So once we do get an offer, we have, say we have, we're right on the mark and we're getting a lot of showings, and we have an offer come in. Awesome. We get an offer accepted, and we're moving out to the pending process. So, again, like I said, please sign up for the 10-day email series. It's going to go through everything in great detail. So the offers, there could be multiple offers, there could just be one offer, and we're going to walk you through the different options you have when that happens. So the next thing, once we have a pending transaction, once we accept an offer, we go into the pending process, and it's an inspection. So that's usually about 2 to 3 hours. And the buyer's gonna go in there with their inspector. They're gonna go in, check the house out. You're gonna be, for all showings and inspection, you're gonna wanna be gone from the house. So you wanna be away from the house and going out and doing something. Let them have their time with that at the house. It really hinders a sale when the sellers are there. So that's a huge piece of advice that a lot of people kind of know, but sometimes it slips the mind of people. So that's huge. Inspection, 2 to 3 hours, and they're going to be looking at stuff. And as a seller, you really want to kind of, and it depends what market it is, especially in a seller market like we're in now. You want to kind of limit people to things that aren't working, maybe things that are broken or safety issues, things like that. People sometimes will come in and they'll have the feeling of like, hey, I need to fix everything that's wrong with the house. And hopefully the buyer's agent is kind of walking them through the process and letting them know that, hey, it's a home that it's been used, it's been lived in. There's going to be a lot of small issues that happens in every home. We're looking for big stuff. So that's the sellers, you're looking for big things. If for some reason something was wrong or broken, there were safety issues or something like that, then that's when we, kind of negotiate and talk about what are some remedies, what can we do to fix that. So after we get through the inspection, people could back out, they could stay in it and negotiate, or they could say, hey, everything's fine and we're gonna move forward. But after we do that, we're going to the appraisal. So we have the appraisal. Once we have the inspection is done, then we have the appraisal, which is the lender sending out their inspector in a way. It's usually probably going to be 30 minutes to 60 minutes, and they are going to check the value of the property. That's really, long story short, that's what they're checking to do. They might come check with different loan types. They might come check what is the status of the home and what does it look like, does it need fixes, and etc. But they're really coming to get the value. That way they can tell the lender, hey, this is what the value is worth. And again, you're running into, these are the two big contingencies in the transaction. So these are two big hurdles to get over. And again, people could back out if if the appraisal comes in low and you can't negotiate a solution to that, an agreement. They could back out. It could go forward, just fine because it could be at value, or it could be above value. But these are the two big hurdles to get over. So once you get through this and we say, hey, everything's great, we sign our documents and say, hey, everything's cool with everything, then we go into what I like to call the home stretch. So the home stretch is really the last couple of weeks before closing. So make sure I'm spelling these right. With home stretch, you had title and utilities, making sure we're coordinating, make sure that utilities are turned on and off at the right times, getting ready for closing, transferring stuff out of your name. Title, you're not going to see much of title. The buyer's title company, they're going to be working on stuff like that, kind of doing a lot of stuff in the background. So they'll be doing a lot of that stuff, getting ready for closing, getting all the paperwork ready for you to sign at closing, and then we have closing. So I mean, once we get there and we get through all this, we have the last steps really, and it's final walkthrough and closing. And the final walkthrough is the buyer. It's the last time they can come see the home before closing. So what they're going to do is they're going to come, it's usually right before closing, and they're coming to see if there were inspection fixes that needed to be done, or if there are appraisal issues that need to be fixed. They're coming to make sure those things were done. And if you did move out of the house at that time, you don't have occupancy, then they're coming to see, hey, are there holes in the walls? Are the windows broken from moving out? Or did they say did the seller leave what they said they're going to leave? Did they take what they said they're going to take? Things like that. So they're coming to check all that. It's usually 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. But then we head to closing. So and then closing takes about an hour. So the buyer has a lot more paperwork to sign than the seller does. But it shouldn't take too long, and we're wrapping it up. So, and like I said, guys, if you want more detail, please go to, there's gonna be links on here, depending on where you're watching. We've got a couple different platforms we're running right now. So it's either gonna be above, below, click the link and you get the free video series. It's gonna go way in depth into all these 10 different steps. So check that out. But the last thing is referrals and home search. So hopefully, our team did a great job. Hopefully your agent did a wonderful job and you love them so much and you want to refer everyone you know to them. So that's where, if we love working with people that are like our clients, and we want to do a great job for their loved ones as well. So if there's people that they know that we can help, we love that. And if there's people that we can help you with and send you all of our vendors and referrals, then we're glad to do that. that's half of our job, I believe, is to be a resource, whether it's financial resources, contractors, whatever it is, inspectors, whatever it is, because then we have the home search. So we have referrals and home search, because what's going to happen is a lot of times people are going to be looking for a home. So once they sell their home, they're going to be looking for a home. We get them set up on a home search. We get them set up on the MLS, and we get them looking for everything that they're going to want in their next home. So, you know, and this process may have started already, but I just put this in here obviously as it's part of the process. It's towards the end of that selling process a lot of times, and we need to be cognizant of that. So that's the home stretch. Like I say, this is the active process. That's the pending process. And, you know, once we have that offer signed, we go into that pending process. So if you guys have any questions, please sign up for the free video series we have. You know, message us, obviously comment on here if you see it in a day or two or whatever. We're always answering questions. We love getting feedback and new questions that we can answer on here. We love doing it for everybody. And also our YouTube channel it houses everything. So we have all the different playlists on there where it houses all the questions that we answer, all the videos that we do. It's gonna be the hub for all of that. So we appreciate you guys a ton. We appreciate you guys sending everything. Make it an awesome, awesome day. Again, I'm Brandon Gentile. I'm the CEO and the founder of the Legacy Group here at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. We look forward to talking to you guys again very soon.